Please explain why Catholics pray to the dead and for the dead.
As a former Catholic, I think
Okay.
you can handle that.
Yeah, when I was raised, the number of saints, they believe that certain folks are sainted, and that you can talk to them for different things. And in the church tradition, it came to be various saints had particular duties. And so you would pray to this one for lost articles and pray for this one if you're hoping for someone's healing and all these different things. And I could never keep them straight. I remember one time I had lost something, and I was praying to St. Joseph, and my stepmother heard me and reprimanded me for praying I'm bothering St. Joseph for something that St. Joseph has no business with. And so, but I'm not really sure where in the history that came to be, when exactly you can pinpoint it. I believe the first evidence of it, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but it's around the 4th or 5th century. And I can't prove this right off the top of my head, but I have in the past read stuff where that people have argued that it arises out of the influence of pagan practices in the church around the mid or late 4th and 5th century. What happened was, when Constantine in the 4th century had his so-called conversion visionary experience and then empowered the church and made Christian being popular, it had been persecuted up to this time, but now it became popular. You had a mass flooding in of all these Christians. I mean, overnight, it just exploded, became the official religion of the Roman Empire. And so, whereas before, people went through real rigorous training and education when they became a follower of Jesus, now they just were, just ushered in from all over the place, and they brought their paganism in with them. And that's when you see, at this period, a real paganization of the church. The church takes on a lot of pagan characteristics. One of them is the idea that you can talk to ancestors or different people for different favors. They kind of mediate God for us. I think that's the origin of the whole thing. Not the origin of particular saints, but the origin of the practice of believing that you can talk to humans now who are dead and will intercede on your behalf. And what makes a saint is simply, in the church teaching, it was the belief that they had this idea that you get grace by taking communion and doing good works and things like that. Most of us die, and we have to go through some time in purgatory to get enough grace to be ready for heaven. But there are certain people who they believed were so full of grace that they immediately went to heaven and then they were given the honor of playing a special role in terms of helping us who are still alive grow in the Christian life. I don't believe any of that. I'm just explaining what the practice is all about. So those are the saints that the Catholics believe in, and they are taught to pray to them for particular reasons, for particular needs. The number of saints, I think, has gotten really great, very much reduced from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there was a plethora of these saints. And now, I remember my dad getting so mad when, after Vatican II, which was this major kind of modernization of the church in the 60s, he was so mad because they took away a number of these saints. And it's like, all this time people have been praying to these folks, and now, what was that, talking to the air? So